What's up, guys? This is cielshock from CTUSA Mini 4-Wheel Drive Racing Squad, and I'm a teacher here in newyork. Before I start, I want to say shout out to Jeff, for your Mini 4-Wheel Drive needs. He have an eBay account, and he also have a Twitter account. He have a Facebook account. You can message him, but you can check him on eBay. He sells copy parts and Mini 4-Wheel Drive original stuff. I want to say shout out to my teammates, Ben Royalty, Rob Henry, Rob Metz, and Richard, all the newyork racers, Team Chubby, Team Putek, and Team 8PM. Alright, we're gonna go straight up in the video. This video is about my qualifying round in the Visionaire racing last year, November 2017. This is where I have two cars that qualified. It's Alexis and Fate. Alexis is my Super 1 chassis, and Fate is my MS, because I'm getting a lot of questions. What setup did I use on that track layout? So I'm gonna begin for my qualifying cars, because in Visionaire racing we're allowed to build a new car for the finals, but these are the cars that I built and I used and I raced on the qualifying rounds. First we have Alexis. So everybody that follows me, they have a little bit idea of my Super 1 setup. This one is kind of a little bit upgraded, so I upgraded to 6-spoke wheels. Thank you, Rob Metz, for the 6-spoke plated wheels. This is pretty simple, because Super 1 is a first chassis before Super 2, obviously. They have almost 90% the same with the Super 2, but the weakness for this car for me is its adaptability. So this car have reinforcements over there. I bet you see those on my old video, and there's a reinforcement over there and reinforcement over there. So basically this is just a Super 2 setup that I have, but it's kind of longer because I didn't do bumperless. I did this old school part over here. I'm gonna write it down what item number over there, what item number this is, and you can find it still in some hobby shops. I use a 9mm roller because I want more contact surface. The reason why I use this is I want more contact surface. It's a little bit more faster, but needs more rotation to make a complete turn. So it grips more, bites a little bit more on the track, and obviously my stabilizing pole is a ball cap. I put the screws higher so it runs through the wall more for more stability. The disadvantage of having a long screw like this is it might get caught on the track, but I pretty much sacrificed that part. So I made it longer because I want more stability. Because if you study the characteristics of Super 1, Super 1 have is less stable compared to other chassis. Besides of its adaptability is low. Also there's no holes here, just like the Super 2 have holes here to adapt, so you can adapt and you can put more parts. This time I use this carbon piece, this carbon 3-point attachment right here. I will write down also the item number for it, and yeah, so I pretty much cut it, and then I have a high grade FRP, a carbon part over here that was machine cut to make it lighter. Alright, so this is pretty much like 90% Tamiya. The only part that is not Tamiya over here is the ball cap and this rear brake groove that I got from Jeff, JHT Mini 4-Wheel Drive, and the underguard. So this is pretty much all Tamiya built, but the body dampers are all FRP. The reason why I use FRP is it does have that little, more rebound going back. Alright, going back. Because the track in Visionaire, I have a video that after this explanation that I have. I don't know if you're gonna see it, but it's a 1 recovery slope. So I pretty much want the car to slap back right away. And using FRP besides carbon have a little more rebound compared to a carbon plate I mean, I'm not saying carbon plate is bad, but in some situations, I use FRP for more rebound. Obviously, you can still adjust carbon for more rebound or like a pushback in the track, but I prefer FRP because there's a little, like, it's a little bit elastic compared to, I don't know if that's the right word, but there's more rebound going back. I didn't use front dampers because I want a longer jump in the Double Dragon, even though I want to land perfectly in the middle, but I want a little bit longer jump, because when you put it a front damper, the car is pretty much like landing forward, similar to FM chassis. So yeah, that's pretty much the tip that I can say. I mean, I can share. I have this kind of dampers over here. It's the AR, and this one is, they call it nips. It's lighter. So this one pushed the car back, and then I have a lighter one over here too. This is only run by a Light Dash 4.1, so 4.1 gear. The reason why I use Light Dash 4.1 gear is I want this to be my safety car, but still fast. So this is a large diameter 6-spoke wheels, and I stretched a medium small I stretched the small diameter hard tires and trim it a little bit, so it ended up being like 27, I think 27 millimeters, 27.5. So it's a little bit bigger compared to a regular large diameter trim tires, but I use 4.1 gear, so I have a little bit more torque, and it works. Light Dash doesn't have a lot of torque, but because I lowered the gear and I put bigger tires, it compensates its lack of top speed compared to Hyper Dash because of the big wheels, and the lower gear ratio give it a little kick. So yeah, so this one, 4th place. So 4th place in Visionaire Racing is qualified for the finals. So I have an extra ribbon wild card going to the finals. That was like November. Okay, that was last November. So this is my car named Alexis, because the colorway is from Scheider. You guys can see it's pretty much like a Blue Hawk car. But yeah, this is my Super 1. So anybody want to try a Super 1 setup, you can do this if you want. It works well for me. And I want to just say something about the setup too. Like, if you were making a setup or trying to like imitate or copy a setup, it doesn't mean that it's gonna perform well just like what the racer's car. It's still up to you how you will make your car compensate, run, make it faster on the track. A setup you can copy all the time, but it's up to the racer how you'll tune it. Okay? Alright, that's about it. That's Alexis. That's Alexis, and we want my last look. Alright. The next car that won first place is Fate. This is one of my oldest car, because this chassis is almost a year and a half now. Oh, also before I go to Fate, one factor that I have a perfect landing is trim brakes over here. I use blue because I want a little grip, but I trim this like the Filipino way, and I learned this from Sir Joey from Cavite, and John Larry Apostol, and Tonks from Ateneo Racing. They're SRP racers. They pretty much teach me how to do this, but Sir Joey is the one who gave me an intact detail about trimming it. But yeah, so moving on, I have Fate, one of my oldest chassis. It's MS chassis, MSL chassis, MS Light. So if you guys can see the bottom, there's no weight reduction. It's all, the only weight reduction over here is to cut it bumperless and then cut the rear. It's a rear body damper. See, it's carbon, but this body damper is a copy part from Jeff. Yeah, it's carbon. You can also find this on eBay if you want to buy it. I put hard springs, so you know, again, more rebound going back, slap back. I have heavy dampers, heavy block dampers. I highly suggest the block dampers when it comes to dual shaft, so it goes down right away on tabletops, because the motor is in the middle, so you need a weight there compared to rear motors. Rear motors have that weight. Rear motor chassis have that weight in the back. This one have to be like get pushed in the bottom. I mean the rear part. Okay, so bumper. I don't have any protruding brakes over there. It's cut, so it's closer to the body for cornering. I put the green brakes because I don't want any grip on the banks. It's just slides, but I want thick enough just to hit the double dragon, so it lands perfectly in the middle. The car have sliding damper. You can also get it from Jeffia, and I know you can get it from DY King from the Philippines. You can also grab it from any I think there's some eBay sites or like China eBay sites that you can grab sliding dampers. It depends on your racing center if they allow copy parts, but Visionaire allowed copy parts and replica parts on that race. I use a Tamiya mount plate right here for underguard. I use underguard braking technique that I learned myself, so it will land perfectly because this car is way faster than the other one, because this run is run by a Hyperdash Pro, so I need that brake in the underguard. And also I have this popsicle brake in the back. It's black. So 19mm rollers in the back, so I have for more stability, but it also, when you slide it, ends up in being in the 19 slot. It's lightweight because there's holes. All right, for lightweight, for a little bit more, like, so I can compensate a little bit more weight. But what make this car really special for me, because not a lot of people rock large diameter wheels. Okay, so I have this 6-post light diameter wheels. It's actually a extra large diameter wheel that was trimmed. It was CNC cut to make it lighter. To make it lighter. So this basically an extra large wheel that was CNC cut to be lighter, and to be more to be easier for the gears and the motors to push, because the lighter the wheels, the motor will not suffer much. The gears will be, if you have a higher gear ratio, it'll be easier for the gears. And also, if your wheels are lighter, it will be more acceleration, and it saves up on batteries. One thing with these wheels, this wheels is from Jimmy Lou from Toronto, by the way. Thank you. This is a gift a year ago. This offset combination, like me and Mig X, shout out Mig X from California, Team Turf, shout out. We made this a year ago, and this combination is a super hard tire and a hard tire. And this gray hard tire is pretty much like, it's 29. This is this 28 millimeters. That's the gray hard tire, and the super hard is 29. So that combination is really big compared to a regular to a regular wheel set or trim tires. The reason why I made it big is the track layout is really huge, so it's long, and in my opinion, I need more top speed and torque together. But how will I do that? I put a 3.7 gear, which is lower from the highest speed gear ratio, which is 3.51. So I have a little torque. I run Hyperdash Pro. So the Hyperdash Pro is the highest motor that I can use on that race. So I pretty much used that one. And I put a extra large diameter wheels with a little bit trim tires, so I can have more top speed, made it light, so I have torque, and put 3.71 gear, so I can have more torque. So the offset tires compensate the cornering, because having an offset tire have less drag when the car is drifting from a lot of like turns, and that track have a lot of turns, waves, and chicanes, so that helps me to have an advantage compared to other racers having full tires. Okay, because I have the large tire, Because for me, this is one of the advantages I have, because I have a large tire. It gives more top speed when it comes to straight section, because I have the biggest tire in the race, and because my tires are bigger, it goes up higher in the bank, even though it is offset. Because offset tires, and people may not know, its weakness is going up in the banks because you have less grip from the track, and you're gonna have hard time, a little bit harder time compared to the one with the full tires. But sacrificing that and making it bigger tires will kind of compensate that weakness, because dual shaft have a lot of torque to begin with. So for me, this setup is balanced for that track. The rollers are closer to the body to give me more cornering with 19 millimeters, and that stabilizer over there helps me on the change lane. And the screws are just like perfect for me, not too long, not too short. Sliding damper, so I can slide from the corners. I will post the track layout and you'll see what I'm talking about the corners. There's a lot of corners. And yeah, this setup pretty much like really made me like I think this is like a perfect setup for me. Not perfect, but almost perfect for that track layout. Cause if you don't have a lot of top speed, you will get it from having this kind of wheels. And using HyperDash Pro, if you push your motor too much, it's gonna fly up. And if you're not good at braking in a motor, you still can compensate your speed or your top speed by changing the wheel setup, and you know, roller positionings and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my car, MS Chassis Fate, one of my oldies. But hope you learned something. There is no such thing as default setup. That's what I'm trying to say. Try to think outside of the box. Try to try to put all the research and overcome the weaknesses of your chassis and what motor, whatever you're using. But it works a lot. It helps me a lot to win, and I'm pretty proud of it. Because everybody was judging me pretty much. We're saying like, that's gonna fly up. It looks like a high-speed car. It does have big wheels. It's not gonna perform well. Your torque's gonna suffer because you focus too much on top speed. But guess what? It went podium. It went first place, and I qualified to the finals. So don't be afraid to think outside of the box. One biggest greatest advice that I'm gonna tell you that I learned throughout my mini 4-wheel drive journey. And if you lose, make sure you learn something on it. It's not just like losing that, gonna discourage you in racing. It means that you are growing. That it means it will make you a better racer, especially if you learn a lot about that race. So yeah, so this is Fate, my MS chassis build. If you want to take a last look, there you go. Again, thank you for all the followers. Don't forget to hit subscribe and like. This is cielshock from CTUSA Mini 4-Wheel Drive Racing Squad. And as we always say in newyork, we learn from you, you learn from us. Always race humble. Peace. Yes. All right. Oh my God! Look at peek. Look at that. Where's the start? Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm shell shocked, dude. Look at the track layout, man. It's huge ass track. All right. New York City only. Gonna be racing this track later. There's like gaps in there. Oh, they have a mini podium thing that we can put our cars. cielshock has arrived. Ready?
Whoa, that's legal. 3, 2, 1.
Stay down, turn. No, I work with an artist right now. We're looking to try to get in here with love and project in the space. My dash running out of juice. See, that's the risk.
Yeah, but you're the last one on the track.
Come on, slap.
Come on, 5, 2, 1. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, man. Lo mata, está matando el capo, brother.
1.
¿Tú ves cómo para, bro? Ahí. Tiene mucho break. No, not the tape.
Go!